2001, A Space Odyssey opens with a turn up volume total solar eclipse. And it's called 2001, A Space Odyssey. Okay. Now, if you look at this total solar eclipse going to the total lunar eclipse of next year on Pi Day, Life of Pi. By the way, that would be the day he would rise. It's 11 months, 6 days, which is from our 11/6 Back to the Future, the 11/6 on the clock, where it says the Twin Pines. That's an upside down backwards 9/11. And I want to then take your attention to Trump's birthday to 2 days before the total lunar eclipse, because iPet Goat shows him rising up through a full moon. On the 12th, that's the anniversary of my first wedding. He is 28, 761 days old. 761 is the exact amount of verses in the book of Daniel and Revelation combined. It is also the 135th prime number is 761. And in the Dark Knight, they showed back-to-back license tags of 761 followed by 135, coding the end times with the prime number that I just spoke to. They coded it. So his event would take place on a Wednesday per the TV show, and he would rise on a Friday, Pi Day, total lunar eclipse. He was born on a total lunar eclipse. Is he going to be reborn on a total lunar eclipse? Because The Dark Knight Rises came out 2 days after The Dark Knight. Jesus rose on the third day, so on and so forth. And then I'll tell you what I ran. I wanted to look at, since 2001, A Space Odyssey opens with a total solar eclipse, I run the 2001 total solar eclipse on the summer solstice, 6/21. So what a coincidence that the sun god day, or the longest day of the sun, would be the total solar eclipse of that year, 2001. If you run it to the 86ing day of 3/12 and just simply click include end date in calculation, because they count the beginning date automatically. We do it the opposite. We count the end date automatically. We never count the day. Like a child is not 1 day old that day they're born. You go up a day, then they're a day old. But no matter, if you include both dates as bookends from that total solar to 2 days before the total lunar next year, it's 8,666 days. And 86 at the beginning, agent 86. 86 is code to eliminate or to get rid of. He would then rise on 3/14 on Pi Day, spiritually indwelt with the spirit of Satan possessing his body. If you include the 2001 total solar eclipse and include the total lunar eclipse, it is 8,668 days. 86 followed by 68. 68 is reversal of 86, which represents rising from the 86. It's the reversing of it. When you rise from the dead, you reverse the death, or reversing the 86ing of it. What's in the middle of 8,668? 66. That's the number of books in the Bible, but more to the point, it is the book of Revelation is the 66th book of the Bible. It's 1,238 weeks from both to both. We know 38 is murder. And I think reverse full reduction gematria. So this is a big deal. And yes, I think we also have to be looking ahead to next year. There's a total solar eclipse this year. There's a ring of fire. If we look to this ring of fire eclipse on the Donnie Darko date of October 2nd, it's 163 days. If you include both dates, 164. That doesn't really do anything for me. I want to look at just one more and then we'll call it a day. If you run it to the double midpoint of October 12th, it was the double midpoint of 2 total solars and 2 total lunars. And the day Sirius, the dog star, rose. It is 9:45. I'm going to cheat and do one more. I want to look at another solar eclipse. Okay. If you run it from the 9/11 event in 2001, it's 8585. It would be 8583 on the 8016 day. 83 is also murder code in one of the gematria ciphers. And one more date to look at would be the Donnie Darko date of 1988, October 2nd. Well, there it is, 13312. And we know that Revelation 13:3 is the first time deadly wound is mentioned, and it's followed by but did live. And that is fused. That is not fused, but what comes after it is 12, the number for the church. So it's 13312. I think we have to look at next year's total lunar as a very big deal. The first eclipse that makes the X across America in 2017, it was 8/21, 2762. And there was a total solar that landed right on the midpoint in 2020 of both solars that make the X across America. There was actually a total solar at the exact midpoint day, and that was the day they distributed the therapy. So it was a high ritual day. If we run that to the total lunar, it is 1551. Nothing too significant other than that it's a what is that word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. Yeah, it's a let me check volume. It's a palindrome when it's the same going backwards and forwards. Now, Trump will be a palindrome. I wanted to say it's in June. He'll be 28428. Looks like that's in early May. 28428. Golly, that's coming up. Is that on the 16th? Is that on the 13th? Ooh, that's right. Nope. I was right the first time. It's in June. I'm not looking at it right. It is June 6th, which was the day his mom died. That's what it is. 28482. And if you read it backwards, it's 28482. It's the same. It's a palindrome. He is a palindrome on June 6th, which is also an interesting date to look at because he would then rise on 6/8, which is a reversing of 86. So his event taking place on a Thursday, June 6th, is also something to look at. All right. That's it. Love y'all.